morning all. Today I am going to explain 8051 microcontroller. Introduction to microcontrollers. First, let's see the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. In microprocessor, the devices it consists of are CPU, RAM, ROM, input output, timer. But all the devices are connected separately. But in microcontroller, the CPU, RAM, ROM, input output and timers are all inbuilt on a single chip. In microprocessor, the designer can decide on the amount of ROM, RAM and input output ports. But in microcontroller, fixed amount of on-chip ROM, RAM, input output ports are available. Microprocessor is expensive only because of the externally connected devices, but in microcontroller all the devices are inbuilt, so it is less cost and consumes less power and space compared to the microprocessor. So the microcontroller is best suitable for cost, power and space critical applications. Microprocessor has versatility applications and used for general purpose applications, but microcontroller is not expensive but only used for specific applications, that is single purpose application. Next, let's see the 8051 CPU operation by seeing the features, pin diagram, block diagram one by one. First, 8051 microcontroller is introduced by the Intel in 1981. The 8051 is an 8-bit processor. That means the CPU can work only 8 bits of the data at a time. And also the 8051 became widely popular after allowing other manufacturers to make and market any flavor of the 81. Let's see what are the flavor of the 8051 families or 8052 and 8031. These two are the flavor of 8051. That means it has the same feature as the 8051. Look at the tabulation. In 8052, all the features mentioned in 8051, ROM, RAM, timer, input output pin, serial port and interrupt sources has maximum value compared to the 8051. But in 8031, there is a 0 kilobytes of ROM. That is, in 8031 there is no ROM. That is why it is called as ROMless 8051. We have to add external ROM for the applications. So when you are adding the ROM externally, it loses 2 ports and leaves only 2 ports for the input output operations. So these are all the difference between 8051, 8052 and 8031. So from the tabulation itself we can see the number of features increased in the 8052 compared to 8051, and 8031 has 0 kilobytes of ROM. These are all the major difference compared with 8051. Next, what are the features of 8051 or 64 kilobytes of program memory, 64 kilobytes of data memory address space, 4 kilobytes of on-chip program memory, 128 bytes of on-chip data RAM, 32 bidirectional and individually addressable input-output lines, two 16-bit timer counters, full duplex UART, 6 source 5 vector interrupt structure with 2 priority levels, on-chip clock oscillator. Next one is pin description of the 8051. So the 8051 family members are 8751, 89C51, 89C52, DS89C 4 into 0. All the families has 40 pins and all are dedicated for various functions such as input, read, write, address, data and the interrupts. The 8051 come up with different packages. The different packages are dual inline package, quad flat package and a leadless chip carrier package. And some companies provide 20 pin version of the 8051 with a reduced number of input outputs. So depends on the application. This one is the pin diagram of the 8051. So in this diagram we can see 8051 has 40 pins, starts from 1 to 40. In that 40th pin is VCC and 20th pin is ground. So these two pins supplies the power for the 8051. So in generally 8051 operated in 5 volt, and 8051 has 4 ports: port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. So port 0 has 8 pins, starts from 0 to 7. Similarly, port 1 has 8 pins, starts from 0 to 7. Port 2 has 8 pins, starts from 0 to 7. And port 3 also has 8 pins, starts from 0 to 7. So there are 4 ports for the communication of input devices, output devices and memory devices to the 8051 microcontroller. So the port 1 is dedicated for connecting the external memory with 8051 to collect the address and the data. So in this port, address and the data both are multiplexed together. So to demux the address and the data lines, we have a signal address latch enable. So if address latch enable is 0 means address lines will be provided. If it is 1, data line will be provided. So by using the ALU, the address and data lines are demultiplexed, and the external access gives the support of external memory, and program store enable pin gives the support for the external memory to extract the data and control signals. So P1 and P2, these two ports are mainly used to connect the input devices and output devices which we need externally to support the 8051. Then port 3 has the special features, that is serial communication, parallel communication, timer signals, interrupt signals, read-write operation between the memory devices. So all these are using the port 3. Then crystal 1 and crystal 2. These two gives the supply to the oscillator which is embedded in the 8051. Then the reset signal, that is used to reset the activities of the 8051 and also clear the memory whenever we need it. So in next class we will see the detailed description and functions of the 8051. Thank you.